Welcome to MBK Lounge. I'm your host, Greg Nicholson. I am so glad you guys tuned in today. And as usual, we got something to talk about. So let me give you an idea what it's about. So in life, right, you have a plan. You know, you go to college, you join the military, you go to trade school, whatever you do, you got a plan. And everything is going, it's going pretty good. And then you do something kind of temporary, right? Like, hey, Greg, can you help me do this? And you do it and it's cool. And then somebody asks you to do it again and again. And you're like, wait a minute, this was the road I was on. This was kind of like my career, but I'm kind of liking this thing. And then you reach this crossroad where you're like, okay, wait. I got a decision to make. And that decision kind of sounds like, I literally could walk away from what I thought I was going to do and do something else. And you end up saying, I was going to do this, and that's what this show is about today. Mm-hmm. It's about having the courage, the belief, and the willingness to literally go to school or have a plan or whatever going this way and decide this other thing that I found, I'm going to go for it. I was going to do this, but now y'all know that I can't have a conversation by myself. I have to have somebody here that can help me peel that back and really talk about it. So today I'm joined by none other than my nephew, Jay Nelson. I said Jay Nelson, right?
Jay Nelson. You know me as Jonathan.
Yeah. Welcome to the lounge, man.
It's good to be here.
I'm glad to have you, man.
Thank you for having me. This is cool.
So you heard me kind of talk a little bit about that. Does that describe you at least a little bit?
Nah, more than a little bit. I mean, you know my journey, but I mean, starting out, I wanted to, go to school, get a job. That's like kind of what we raised to do. What we're taught at an early age, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and then job. I did all of the above, and me thinking that it was going to go one direction and it go a different direction. I mean, that's my story. It was pretty accurate.
Yeah. So let me share this with you. This was a little bit different. I got what I call like the stats, right? I want to be able to provide some perspective for you guys, because I think especially your story is real unique and different. Like even with what they call the Great Resignation during COVID, everybody was like, I'm out. Yeah. It's still different than what you did. So I have what I call the stats. So career change is motivated by personal desire. What's that percentage like? It's 26% of people do that without formal training, right? Or at least that's one of their concerns.
Right, yeah.
That's 1 out of 4, right? No formal training or education. That was a real hard one. I was like, so how do you even land on that?
Yeah.
It's really hard to get a percentage, but there's no exact percentage for that kind of case. But around 13% of those considering a change actively, when it requires reskilling or relying on personal learning rather than formal training. So again, the number is even smaller when you make a change and it's like, this is a world I ain't never been in. I didn't go to school for.
Yeah,
right? You ain't even learning about yourself, right? We're going to get into your story. Now, I'm going to tell people how there could be a benefit up front. I'm going to tell y'all now so I can get the stats out of the way and maybe I'll come back to it. Unplanned career shifts. 49.5% who change jobs state personal fulfillment or unexpected opportunities. And when it's kind of serendipity, where you're like, I didn't know I was going to be here, but I'm glad I did this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then how do people feel about it? 88% of the time report happier, implying that many transition arise from realizing unexpected passions or a fit. So when you hear that, anything come to mind? You think about either the small amount of people who did what you did or the benefits of it.
And the benefits, wow, that's deep. That's deep. When I hear that, man, I think a lot of people are alike. I think a lot of people have ideas that come, whether it be, that you're inspired by somebody else's story or or me, like, cause I wasn't really inspired by somebody else who had a camera. You know what I mean? I think that the idea from me came from me just being, the person I am. Like, I always was looking for, something that I could go hard for me, if that makes sense. Like, it was weird. Like, I was in a weird place in my life at graduating from college.
Wait, what college did you go to?
You know, the real HU.
You know?
Yeah, the real HU. You know.
The real HU.
So yeah, you know, graduating from school, you know, I got classmates who are going off doing great things, you know, because we went to a great school. And just seeing what everybody else is doing, and some people have great jobs, but I'm seeing other people who are. We were starting to get into that age where entrepreneurship was starting to be like the thing, I guess you could say.
Right.
You have a question? I'm sorry.
Well, what did you get your degree in?
My degree was in sports management. Minor was in business administration.
Okay.
So just having that business, so I actually switched my major to that. I went in for architecture. That's the crazy part, because I was I
forgot all about
I went in for architecture. I was real artsy. I loved art. I was really good at math.
That's
and I was really good at school too, you know. I was really good at school.
That's right.
Not to say that changed.
Look, did I say he's my nephew? I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, I was, not to say I was all over the place, but yeah, I mean, my mind, I was very ambitious about just different things, but I was always just trying to figure out what was long term, like what was right for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what did I want? I always felt like, you know, I'm special, you know, not to say I'm more special than anybody else, but I always just felt like I'm special. I didn't want to just be a regular guy sitting behind in a cubicle. I don't know if that's the right. Not to offend anybody, you know, but I knew that I was destined for something different because of just different experiences that I had, different things that I saw growing up. You know, that's another thing that I just want to mention. Like, exposure is just huge, you know, because I think I was exposed to a lot of things. So even me going through my journey, the traditional route, just me being exposed to different things, I think that it just started to shift my mind a little bit. And I was in a weird place after graduating school, and I didn't really know what was next, you know? And
that's interesting, because so you went to Howard, you graduated, you were in a weird space. I can relate to that. So talk a little bit about that weird space. So, you know, you got your paper, you know where, you know, sports management, you know, business minor, then what?
Yeah. So, I started working at, my mom helped me get a job at, a school. And I didn't go to, like, you just asked me what my degree was in. I don't know why I'm working in the school, you know what I mean? But, it was just, I guess, like a placeholder almost, like, all right, just do this, make a little money until you figure out what you want to do.
Right.
But like I said, I always felt like I was special. So I'm like, dang, why I gotta be me in this weird place, not really knowing what's next. Here I am graduating from this big college.
Right.
Everybody's expecting me to do big things. And here I am, just little old Jay and working in the school, just nobody. You know what I mean? But that's just how I felt. Not to say I was nobody, but, and I think that when the idea, we were first talking about, I think a lot of people have certain ideas of things. And I think that a lot of people just don't, a lot of people let other people talk them out of the idea, or they talk themselves out of the idea.
Right.
And just to come back to your stats, I think that a lot of people don't act on the idea. You know, they are very comfortable or just very fearful of what could go wrong or how it could look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. What's interesting about what you did, right, is you had you had a belief in yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes people will say, I'm an accountant, but I would love to do interior design. But was that, I don't think that was you though. Did you know what that other thing was? I guess that's my question. Did you know what it was at that point when you were at the school? Were you saying, I want to go and do this, not be in the school?
Right. I didn't know what the what was.
Okay.
But I knew that just being real, I knew that I wanted to be a boss, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I knew that I wanted to be in control of my own income, my own destiny. I knew that I just wanted to have that control, honestly. I just didn't know what was. And at the time, I'm like, is it going to be a product that I'm going to sell?
Right.
Is it going to be a service that I'm going to provide?
Right.
I don't know what it's going to be. But I felt like that I was the right person I just had the right mindset. Because I think that's where it starts. I just had the right mindset to that whatever it's going to be. Because I feel like I was great at a lot of things, like a lot of different things. And I think that, we were just talking like, I know that a lot of businesses are people-based businesses. Like you have to deal with people. Right. And I think I'm good with people. Right. I think that I could blend in any room, talk to anybody from the dude on the corner to the millionaire. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that was just me. So I felt like whatever the product or service was going to be, I knew I was going to be great at it. I just had that belief. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you left Howard, your mom got your job at a school. Do you think that if you would have got a job...
It was a blessing in disguise.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Oh, wait. But before we go to that...
I know where you're going. Go ahead, yeah.
If, let's say you would have graduated and gotten a sports management job somewhere.
Exactly, yeah.
Would you have felt the same way, you think?
I think so, but what I just talked about was somebody like talking you out of, or you talking yourself out of just comfort sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know what would happen. Like,
okay.
Honestly, like, I don't know. Maybe eventually I would have got here, but it might not have been when it happened. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a blessing in disguise, honestly, just having to go through that, like, low phase, like, just low part of my life. I was depressed. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, my mom know now, like, she was mad at me at the time, but I was a terrible employee. But to them, I used to be leaving, like, I used to leave the school during lunch, not come back. Right. Because I was a paraprofessional, so I dealt with one student, if that makes sense. Yeah. When that student wasn't there, I pretty much had a free day unless they would make me a substitute teacher. Like, like I'm a substitute teacher too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy, I was just like, what am I doing? It was an interesting phase of my life, but I needed it because it just showed me like, oh, nah, you need to figure out quick. Like, and once you figure it out, you need to like be aggressive. And so it's funny because while I was there, like I said, I had a lot of days where my student wouldn't come and I would just pretty much have a free day. Right. During that time, I was using that time to educate myself. Right. Like, it was weird. Like, dang, it's crazy. So like during that time is when, and I know we're eventually going to get there, even how I even picked up a camera. Yeah, so, yeah. I could tell that story now briefly. Go right ahead. Yeah, Go right ahead. I'm working this job.
The one at the school?
Yeah, I'm a paraprofessional. Yeah. At Conrad in Delaware. Shout out to them, and good school.
I didn't even know it was Conrad. I thought it was someplace in Wilmington.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I'm leaving school. Like we're just being not a good employee. Let's just say. So I'm not doing the thing I'm supposed to do. I'm actually like focused on my laptop, educating myself for something totally different, not even focus on what's going on in the school. Right. But I'm trying to shift my mind to, okay, I'm watching a lot of podcasts like this, educating myself on just certain things and just certain mindsets that I want to have as an entrepreneur, but just not really knowing which direction I'm gonna go. Right. I get a call randomly by my stepbrother who just like blew up in the trading world. Like he was kind of where I was just a few years prior to that, working a regular job. He was working at a restaurant as a manager. He quit his job, moved to Atlanta, and found this passion for trading in the markets, Forex, stocks, options, and all this type of stuff. And he was doing very well. You know what I'm saying? So he called me like, "Yo, man, I'm trying to start throwing a lot of events." And I need a cameraman. I'm like, okay, what you calling me for?
But that's the start.
Yeah, right. He's like, I have a camera. It's a pretty good camera. Right. And it's crazy because now that I know about cameras, it's a decent camera to start with. Right. It was a Sony A7 III for anybody who does know. It was a decent start, So I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, I want you to come down here. I want you to learn the craft. And while I'll pay you, I'm gonna house you. He had 2 properties, so I'm gonna put you in the other house. There's other people living there. You just get a room, pay. I think I started out paying $400 a month.
Right.
It's like it was in the hood a little bit. It was in so but it was cool. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, except like the light bulb just went off. Let me just say that. Like it was just like, like, all right, I don't like where I'm at right now. And to answer your question, if I was somewhere where I was comfortable, I would have maybe just been like, I don't know. Like I said, it would have maybe just took me a while to maybe get to the point. But I was with it.
But it was the thing I want to make sure that everybody hears is that feeling that you had, that knowing was in you.
Yeah, it was.
And maybe if you were in sports management, it may have been a little harder. But what you're saying is, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, we need to really know that voice on the inside.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because if you were somewhere else, maybe it would have delayed it.
Yeah.
And your story says maybe we sometimes shouldn't.
Right. No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Absolutely. So I always felt it, like even in school and college. The reason why I even switched my major in the first place, it's funny I even brought that up, was because that's when I started to feel, all right, it's funny. Let me rewind a little bit, right? So in high school, all I cared about was sports. All I cared about was playing ball.
Right.
Like I said, I was a really good student. I was a 4.0 GPA student. Right. So I was really good at school, but I love sports. Right. And
you were hooping too.
Yeah, I was decent, but just dealing with a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
I just never could reach my full potential. I felt, I was dealing with a lot.
Right. Another blessing.
Another blessing in disguise. It's crazy. Right. I remember crying my junior year because I got injured, couldn't play my senior year.
Yeah, I remember
in college.
Yeah.
And I'm not a person who cries, so I just remember like kind of crying, like, dang, like it's over.
Yeah.
Like, what am I about to do?
Yeah.
Thank God I had the grades.
Yeah.
Because I got into a good school.
Right.
And I only applied to Howard. That's the crazy part. I only applied to one school.
And I was glad.
Yeah, but don't make that mistake, y'all. Please. Don't
That's
apply
true.
to one school.
You're right. Listen to Jay on that one. Even though we Howard grads, Anyway.
But I just applied to Howard, and I just remember going in for architecture and really feeling like, okay, this is cool. I thought this is what I wanted to do, but this is what other people were telling me. Because honestly, I chose that major because my art teacher kind of put that on my plate, and then other people were encouraging me like, oh yeah, architecture makes a lot of money, and like, all right, cool. I'm listening to it because of the money thing, like, all right, they make a lot of money. And I got there, I'm realizing like, oh no, maybe this isn't like what I want to do long term. Like then I started to think, what do I want to do long term?
Right.
Like what can I see myself doing for 15, 20 years, being happy, genuinely happy, wanting to get up and do this? Because I didn't want to get up and go to that lab every day, and I didn't want to do that, I'll be honest. Like it was cool, but I just long term, I just really had to start thinking like, is this really what I want to do? No matter how much money I'm making, am I going to be happy?
I'm glad you said that.
Am I really going to be happy? So just having that thought process started to begin then.
Right.
And that's when I started, okay, what am I passionate about? Sports. All right, cool. That's how I learned about sports management. All right, let me change my major.
Right.
So that's how it all just started to trickle down, that mindset of what do I want to do?
Right.
So I changed my major to that. And then just being there, I realized, okay, this is cool. And sports is still my passion to this day.
Yeah.
It's still my first love. Like as much as I love what I do now.
Right.
That whole thought process of what do I want to get up and do every day and be happy and just, I don't know, I just had that certain energy getting up every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I do. And I think I'm glad you went back, because I think the beginning of how it happened, people really need to understand, because you said earlier about you were exposed to a lot of things, right? So it's not we don't have time to go into all that, but what I hope is that the moms, the dads, the uncles, the aunts, all the people who can put something into other people, especially young people, to help them, because it's all about exposure, right? If you don't get exposure, then you're going to be very limited in your decision. So that all played a role in you making a decision. So now you're at the school, your stepbrother calls you up and says, go to Atlanta, wants to put a camera in your hand. You've never really had a camera in your hand other than your cell phone.
Mentally prepared
to just roll to Atlanta.
To just like not care either. Like, it's funny because it's like I said, you talk yourself out of it, but then you let other people talk you out of it.
Yeah.
Like, you tell people your dreams, and
you can't tell everybody your dreams.
No, you can't. You can't. But you know what was crazy? Like, I kind of used it as like to fuel me a little bit because I don't know. Like, I knew that it could work. Like, I just had the idea and I just went for it. And I think a lot of people are just fearful of it not working out and how it may look or how other people may view you, you know? And especially like when you got a lot going for yourself.
Right.
And then you like, what? You doing what? Yeah. So like just imagine. I mean, and like you guys supported me. It's funny because I just said that. I was like, I was talking to my mom earlier today and I was like, I think a lot of people didn't really support the idea that I had. She was like, no, I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people supported me. Mm-hmm. But the idea, I think a lot of people kind of was like, oh, okay. You know? Like, oh, okay. Okay could make you very doubtful. Like, just like, oh, dang, like, maybe I shouldn't go. Like, maybe, like, why are you moving to Atlanta? You haven't, what are you doing? Like, you're moving to Atlanta, you don't have a job. Right. You know, you're picking up something completely new. Yeah. Like, you don't have any clients there. You don't have, that's very unheard of. Like, very unheard of. Like, especially, you know, coming out of a school with a degree and everything. Like, bro, just go get a job and climb that ladder. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I didn't want to do that. Like, go ahead.
So you pack up. Yeah. Go to Atlanta. Right. With your brother, and he said he needs a camera person, right? So. What was that like, that transition? Then once you got there, how was it? How'd it go? Like, how'd it go?
So it's crazy because like I was on the job training. Like I started before I even went. So let me rewind just a few months. Just a few months, right? Because it happened so fast. It happened so fast. Like the call to the time I went, I got the call in October of 2020, I believe. I moved in 2021, February. Okay. It's about 4 or 5 months of, knowing I'm about to go down there and do that. Right. I need to prepare myself. I had the mindset, but now I need the technical side of it now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. It was funny because it was always something that intrigued me, but just because of comfortability or just because of, you know, just the rat race, like, okay, I got to go to school. I never had the time to pick up a camera and learn it. Like, but it was always something I did was like, I wonder if there's been a few things like that. Like, I always thought about DJing and camera. Okay. There's just certain things that kind of cool to you, but it's just like, no, you kind of just push it off. Like, that's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Again, that inner voice, right? So, I think about some things that I have interests in, right? But I don't always make the time to go beyond just thinking that's cool. Exactly. What you're saying is that photography, filming, whatever was one of those things, and now somebody says,
I'll pay you to learn how to do this. Pretty much.
So you literally for the next 4 or 5 months after you said come down, went to school on your own,
basically. Yeah.
Okay, and that entailed
YouTube University. YouTube University, man. Yeah, so I was self-taught everything, you know, and I spent so much time. Like, it takes time, you know. It's not an easy thing to pick up. Right. Everybody can't do it just because I'm telling this story. That don't mean, you know what I mean. Right. But it might be something else for you. You know what I'm saying? But this was it for me, and it was YouTube. Like, I was very excited to really learn about it. Like, it was crazy. Like, I started like on Instagram, started following different pages and trying to educate myself that way. YouTube. I had one guy give me like a list of things to learn about. And I started down that rabbit hole pretty much. Like, it just started from there, and I just started to see, okay, I learned this. Okay, what's next? What else do I need to learn? While I'm learning these things, I'm practicing in Philly. I'm going to Philly, shooting models in Philly outside in the cold, and because it's the winter time, right? So I remember this. Like, I remember being outside in the cold, shooting people, just learning how to just learn about lighting, composition, just different things, but having fun with it. And because it wasn't serious yet. Like, it wasn't like these people are paying me hundreds of dollars. I'm just outside just learning. Right. And I fell in love with it. It's weird. I really fell in love with, wow, I'm really about to go to Atlanta. I'm about to go down there and kill a game. Like, I'm just telling myself this. Like, I had the belief. Even when I'm telling people this, people looking at me like, you about to go down Atlanta. You just picked up a camera. You about to do what?
Yeah.
I'm about to go down. Yeah. And I'm confident. You know, I'm telling myself, like, I know this is going to work. Like, it's crazy. I know this is crazy.
It's wild. Here's what's interesting, and I'm full disclosure. I knew some of the things that I wanted to ask you. You are literally answering the questions because there's a passion, that inner voice. That passion is now connected to the real world of you having a camera in your hand. You're not chasing money anymore.
No.
See, in this life, a lot of us chase money and we try to act like it's the passion.
Mm-hmm.
Really what it is they just want to make loot.
Right.
What you're saying is you went after the passion.
And so it's crazy. You know what's so crazy? It's funny you just said that. When he gave me the idea, he got the phone call to go do this.
Yeah.
I never once thought or Googled, like, how much do photographers make? I never even, like,
wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I didn't even think you could. Now I know. Now I know. Now I know that you can it's a very lucrative business if you have the right systems in place and you're talented and whatever. You got the clients. But, you know, at the time, I didn't really know anything about that yet. You know what I'm saying? It was really just like, I always knew. I remember I said, like, I didn't know what it was going to be. Right. You know what I'm saying? But somebody just kind of gave me an idea of what. Somebody basically is. So I'm like, all right, let me jump on this. Like, let me actually. And I fell in love with it. It was weird. And I never once dawned on me like, oh, wait, you can actually make a lot of money doing this too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't really see, I don't know many millionaire photographers. I mean, now I actually do know of people who are making close to 7 figures doing this business. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, like I said, it wasn't somebody who inspired me. I remember saying that earlier. Like, I didn't know of anybody who was in this business that was like well off doing. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know that. Like, you know the lawyers, the doctors, and the architects. What I was talking about. You know, they make. I didn't know anybody who did this.
So that's why. When I was talking earlier, you had to have the courage to do this because now you're going after a passion, not the money, not knowing where the money would even fit. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you went to YouTube University, but was there anything transferable from either what you've learned or who you are? Like, you brought something with you, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. How did you tap into that as you were learning, you know, the camera part? You know what I mean by that when I say?
Explain. I'm sorry.
So you knew you had to learn about film and taking photos, right? But what did you learn that either in life or in school that was transferable into this world that you brought with you that gave you even more confidence? You know what I mean? Was there anything you could think of that you maybe learned in the classroom?
I think not what's the word? Academically, not so much. Right. I think I learned a lot about myself in school. Okay. I think I learned a lot about how to survive. You know, I think I learned a lot about how to go without. Like, honestly, because like that's when I first started doing the camera stuff, it's not like I started making great money right from the jump. So I had to learn how to, just school humbled me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was humbled even just in the beginning of my journey. Like, I knew I wasn't a star photographer, and I'm still not, but it's like...
You Jay Nelson, man. Come on now.
But it's like, I wasn't that, so like I was super humbled. And, just learning in school how to, survive, how to use your resources, whether it be people, and just learning about life, you know what I mean, as I was getting older. Whether it be college, whether it be me working at that job, learning what I didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you also said this was a people business, right? But when you, and I don't know if we said it before we started filming or whatever, but you talked about it being people business as if that's a good thing for you, right? Now, is that because you think you even alluded to you're good with people. You know how to interact. Like talk about that's also something that maybe you brought with you.
Absolutely. Man, like you said, I'm in a people business. I don't make money without people.
Right.
You know, so I'm not here where I wouldn't be here without the clients that I have. Those are people.
Right.
You know, and a lot of clients that I do have are reoccurring clients. Those are people who book me weekly, monthly, whatever, or I might hear from twice a year, but every time they need something, they call me. You know what I mean? So it's just, cool. But that's just because of the relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I started to surpass some of the people that are in my business because they don't focus so much on that part of the business.
Right.
You know, like I really just being me, just like I said, I felt like I was the right person for this industry. Not the photography, just me just being, like I said, a boss. To be a boss, you have to deal with people. You know, and I'm not a boss yet because I don't have people I'm employing yet, but I'm gonna get there. But just the people part of it, you know, like just dealing with people.
And treating them right. I mean, I imagine I'm not gonna call you back to come do a shoot if I don't like you.
If the service wasn't great. Right, exactly.
But here's the thing. There's two people. Both of y'all know everything about that camera you mentioned earlier, the Sony, whatever it is. But I like you.
Right.
That other person knows just as much. But I like you and how you do what you do.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get the job every time.
And that's, okay.
Every time.
That's a boss.
Every time.
That's a boss.
You know, and it's just like, that's one thing I definitely learned, you know, college and, you know, just throughout my journey. Whether academically, I can't even, off the top of my head, I can't even think of anything that I learned academically that is helping me now.
Right,
you know, because I'm not in that type of world, but just life. Like as me growing as a man, like just learning how to just provide for myself, you know what I mean? Like,
and treat people right. I mean,
exactly.
I do know you. And when I said like you, meaning you said it's a people business. Again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said that what that says to me, knowing you, is that you know how to interact with people, treat them right. You want to do, you know, what's best for them. Let me ask you this. I don't know if you clearly said it. What was the defining moment? Right? I know you moved to Atlanta. He put a camera in your hand. But when did you know? Because you no longer work with your brother, right?
No, it's crazy. We started working for just a little bit, actually.
Right.
And then I pretty much got too busy.
Wait, when you say too busy, it wasn't too busy with him?
No. Like, so initially that was the plan,
right.
You know, but he started to see it and he was very supportive. Like, you know, he's to this day, you know, I mean, he's off doing his thing. He lives in Oklahoma now. Shout out to him, Dante.
Right.
But you know, we started off working together and then I started working with like other people. I started traveling, doing all these things where he just like, I mean, his business kept going and going. He ain't got you know, so, and I guess he stopped doing events a lot too. So it just, you know, I just started doing my own thing. It kind of just was it's just a domino effect. It was just a blessing, you know, of how I use it as God used him to bring me here. And now that I'm here, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? And I knew in my mind, I ain't going back. Like, I don't know if you know this, like that first house that I moved into, I got evicted.
I didn't know that till just now.
But it wasn't because of me.
No. Yeah, right.
Like I said, so it wasn't because of me. I was living with other people. And not only that, I thought that at the time, my brother fully owned the house and he didn't. It was some crazy stuff going on, right? So it was something that happened. I just remember one morning, they
came to the house?
They came to the house, knocked on the door and said, y'all have 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get your things. 5 minutes. Listen to this. Just imagine.
I don't know that story.
5 minutes.
I did not know.
This was what was it? It was the Marshalls. It was a whole bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes to get your personal belongings, anything important. And we got people out here. They're coming in, grabbing everything, putting it out on the front lawn right now. Y'all getting evicted right now. Like right now. No 30 days, nothing. It was
wow. So, I did not know that.
I'm homeless, like in Atlanta. I was only there maybe 4 months at the time, 3-4 months. So, but my mind is crazy because they started with the mindset. I told you, my mind was never run back.
Right, come back up this way, up the way.
It was never that. It was like, all right, what's next? I just gotta figure it out. And thank God I had the resources.
Right.
I knew how to use my resources. Right. So you asked me how like certain things that I learned, it's just, just throughout my journey, I knew that in that moment, all right, cool, I can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I had the belief in myself because I've done it before. That, all right, you can figure this out. You know, use the resources around you. I went to Howard, reach out to your Howard friends. You got a stepbrother out here, reach out to him. Like, just because of the relationships that I had with these people, I knew that people would look out, you know? So I had that. And I don't even know where we was going, but that's just something that's just crazy.
Well, here's what's interesting too. A lot of people don't know this. Shout out to Atlanta, A-Town.
Yeah.
I tell people Atlanta is like one of those Howard hubs.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Howard people in DC, obviously, but there's a whole bunch of them in Atlanta. So isn't it interesting that you went down this journey in Atlanta?
Right.
And there were a significant number of people
that was one of the things that made me confident. Yeah, that I could do it too, because it wasn't like it was like Wisconsin, like where I didn't know nobody.
Right.
It was, all right, Atlanta, I know a lot of people there. I can use my resources, or, you know, because I did this in school. So, you know, to get things done, you got to use the people around you, you know, so. And that's what you asked me, the defining moment. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So,
it might not be a moment, but anything that's significant that lets you know. Yeah.
So like the defining moment before I left, or you? What do you like? Be specific.
I like that. Yeah.
Specific. Yeah. Like a defining moment of what though?
So a defining moment is obviously you talked about how you felt.
Yeah.
Right. Your brother calls you. You go down there. He puts a camera in your hand. You learn all this stuff. Right. But a few minutes ago, you said, I got evicted and there's no going back.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if after that, there was something that said, I'm supposed to be in Atlanta doing this, right? But you, at some moment, knew that this is it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't when your stepbrother gave you the camera.
No.
That was just something new. When did you say, Jay Nelson, photographer extraordinaire, this is my thing?
That's a good question. I think I've had different moments. Man, I would say, honestly, when I started to dip into that corporate real estate type of, so like before I started doing that, I was now, because I shoot a lot of realtors now and stuff. Before I was doing that, I was all over the place in Atlanta. I was shooting everything. Like I was just meeting people, and just offering my services. Like, you know, I'm telling people my story. And it's funny, I probably was shooting myself in the foot a lot because I probably was. But people I thought that people liked the authentic, like, oh, okay, he cool, he just starting out, let me give him a try. Like, but I probably was telling people too much, like, that I was just starting out. I probably didn't even have to say that, because if you like the work, you like the work. It don't even matter if I've been doing this for 6 months or 6 years. You know, so I think people just like the work, and I'm telling people, oh yeah, I just started. And they would be like, oh, for real? And maybe I should give you my all this money. Right. You just don't really know what you're doing yet. But like I said, it was on the job training. But the defining moment I would say was when I started to land, when I landed my first millionaire client. And it was consistent. Like consistent. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like somebody who I just met, we shot one time, and it was just like, no, like this was somebody who I was consistently working with. And I was starting to get put in other rooms that I knew that I could thrive in. Like, cause I knew, like I said, I was good with people, but then once I started reaching those rooms, I'm like, man, like this is it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like that's when I really started to feel it. Like, I'm supposed to be here. Like, whether or not I'm supposed to be doing this for another 10 years or 40 years. I know that me being in those type of rooms, I might put the camera down one day, and something that I learned just from being in, because like that's you didn't ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it for you. Like, the best thing about what I do, honestly, is what I learned from the people that I work with in the rooms that they put me in. Because like you become a sponge. Like you become like the fly on the wall, honestly. Like, you know, whether it be shooting a podcast, whether it be shooting an event, or a conference, a panel, or you get put in certain rooms, or you get put around certain people, and it takes you to another level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So,
it does.
That's the best thing about what I do, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think that's when I started to get put in those rooms,
Yeah.
I started to feel it. Like, oh yeah, like this was the feeling that I had when I was sitting in that school and I saw myself somewhere else.
Right.
This was it.
You
like,
know what the what was.
I didn't know what it was.
But when you saw what the what was,
when I was there,
this is the what.
This is it. I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Like these are the rooms I'm supposed to be in. I'm not supposed to be sitting in the library with my laptop, just nothing to do, just kicking it. Like that ain't me, you know?
Yeah.
So once I was there and I knew that I was around the people that I wanted to be around that I could learn from, I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. I know that I'm on the right path.
Yeah, and it's funny, before we were sitting here, I talked about sitting here. It's about the person on the other side of the chair and what I experienced talking to them. And I think I hear you saying the same thing. It's people business is the interest in people.
Absolutely.
And now you're in rooms with people where you said you're learning. You didn't mention money.
No.
You said it's the people who you're learning from, which is
Absolutely.
totally different.
Absolutely. It started with that one client, and then it was just a trickle down effect of working with these whether it be they high earning clients, because they, I do work with a lot of $1 million realtors and all this type of stuff. That's cool. I work with some people who have millions of followers, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram or whatever.
Right.
That's cool too. I treat them all the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people like me too, because I don't really treat nobody like they better than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I really be myself everywhere. And I think people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never look at anybody like,
look down your nose.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to charge you. That's another thing too. Like I'm going to charge you the same.
Right.
Like I'm not about to tax you because of who you are.
Right.
Because to me, not to say that's bad business, but because honestly, I'm still learning business.
Right.
I'm still fresh and new in this, but in my mind, like because I'm dealing with people, I know how I would feel if I felt like you were trying to tax me because of my name.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
So
it's funny because, especially now that you're talking about, where you are, what you're learning earlier when I was talking about the stats, the biggest number that I read was around that 88% of people who found something serendipitously, like they kind of stumbled into it.
Yeah.
But I bet if they were here and we talked to them more, their story might be similar to yours, where you said it was something in there, those things you had interest in that you were able to walk into, and now you're like, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
So listen, I always give everybody who sits over there the final word in terms of, is there anything that you would want to say to somebody that's kind of like, I was going to do this, but like they're presented with maybe a similar situation? Is there anything that you would say to them that they need to know, think about, encourage them? Yeah. The floor is yours for whatever you want to say.
Everybody's journey is different. Everybody is not meant to do what I'm doing. Everybody's not meant to be a boss. Everybody's not meant to, employ people, all of those things. Like everybody's not meant to be a cameraman, photographer, whatever.
Right.
But like I said earlier today, I think that everybody is similar in a way to everybody has those feelings that I got. Everybody gets ideas. Everybody has those interests. And I think that you should not ignore them. I think that you should listen to when you get those certain confirmations, don't ignore them. And like I was getting certain confirmations throughout my life.
Yeah.
That made me think about like whether it be high school, the injury, whether it be college, me switching my major and all those different things that certain confirmations that I was getting that made me feel like, okay, I'm going down the right path, but I don't know where it's leading to, certain things. Right. Just really listen to that gut inside, you know what I'm saying? And don't let other people you know, make you fearful or talk you out of what you know and what you feel inside.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, like me, just let it fuel you.
Yeah.
You know, like have that belief inside of you that, you know, that you can do it, you know? And whatever it is, it might not even be, like I said, it might not even be entrepreneurship.
Right.
Honestly, it might not even be that. It just might be another job. It might be whatever it is,
Yeah.
you know? It might be starting a nonprofit. It might be going to feed whatever, the homeless or whatever. But there's certain things that you just feel inside of you that you feel like is going to fulfill you, that's going to make you happy every day. Because that's what I was looking for. Like, what do I want to get up and be excited to do every day? Like, what is it? Like, and I'm talking just every day of my life. Like, not just for the next 2-3 years. And, you know, I was really thinking long term. And I think that's what you want to start thinking about. Because I don't want to be 60 years old, 50 years old and have regrets. You know, why didn't I, attack those certain like interests or certain, you know, thoughts that I was having, you know, attack them, like, you know, and I don't know. I think that's really the message that I really want to send, you know, to anybody out there. Cause I think that anybody can relate to that. Yeah. You know, it's not just, you know.
Yo, Neff. That's what's up, man. Thanks for coming into the lounge.
This was cool, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
This was fun.
No, this was fun. Thank you for having me. Yeah, definitely.
So listen, everybody. This show was about, I was going to do this, but you heard Jay talk today about having the courage, the belief, and the willingness. And I'm going to add that final part, faith. Right? You got to have a little bit of faith in that inner voice and take a step out. So hopefully after the day, no matter how old you are, that voice on the inside, that knowing is what you go for and decide to do it. So until next time, thanks for checking in. Be blessed.